back to a little bit of the recap of the USA Panama match. Did you hear about some of kind of the nasty things that came out after the game?
No, what happened?
So apparently there was some online racial abuse towards Tim Weah and Florian Balogun on social
What?
media, and it was I guess it was so bad. I didn't go up and look it up because I don't want to give any attention to that trash. And the U.S. Football Federation came out and uh, you know disowned it, like really really disapproving of how our fans reacted. I thought it was I talked about it on the stream. I think it's absolute trash. We're a mediocre team. I mean, not a mediocre team. We're a mediocre fan base in general when it comes to soccer. So if you're not going to get behind the players for the full 90, you have no right to abuse them. You can criticize them, but no right to abuse any player on any team like that. It's absolute dog shit that happened, and I'm pretty ashamed that we have a certain population of the fan base willing to do that. It's absolutely disgusting.
No, I agree.
I guess it was a very volatile match in opinion because I look back at some of the shorts we put out and some of the footage we put out. We were getting a little bit of traction from it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was looking at some of the clips I put out. Didn't really get that much traction,
Mm-hmm.
which I was kind of not necessarily expecting. I'm not going to get too emotional. We're a small channel. I'm learning. We're analyzing what's going to work, what's not going to work. But I put out, 8 or 10 clips, and I was wondering, man, they got single digit views. What happened?
Yeah.
But then I look back to your last clip or short that you posted, which has gotten some really good traction with Greg Berhalter does not know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it killed a little bit of our momentum when it comes to the algorithm because it's actually our most controversial short if you didn't look at it.
Oh, really?
6 likes, 5 dislikes
Oh, wow.
from that short, and it probably halted our progress a little bit for the algorithm. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you don't like our clips, you can easily dislike or unsubscribe. That's fine. You have the right to do that. But seeing that so many people had so much disdain for our take that Greg was not knowing what he's doing,
Yeah.
and I thought it was a valid point. I don't know. I don't understand why so many people were finding it so controversial.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that Greg not knowing what he's doing is probably not the most accurate representation of Greg. Of course, he's done well with the U.S. national team, but in that specific moment, he made the wrong call. He took out Balogun, who was having an excellent game, and he brought on Pepe, who, I mean, despite having some chances, he hasn't been putting away the goal. So that's a questionable call. I mean, no one is above criticism, not even us, right? No, not even the best coach in the world in Pep Guardiola. No one's above criticism. And when you're going to get put in this position, if you're going to make these bad calls that eventually cost us the game, then you're going to get criticized by the media, by your fan base, by your players. And yeah, I mean, at that moment, Greg made a bad call. He doesn't know what he's doing.
You're going to get criticized by everybody, even 2 random guys on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, for the most part, I thought we were all on board with that. I mean, especially since we were right that Pepe didn't work out when he got subbed on. He had 1 attempt on goal, which was that header. It was a weak header. It's right at the keeper. Didn't really challenge anybody as of anywhere else when Flo was really trying to create something out of nothing and created something out of nothing with that 1 goal. And even like I'm gonna just go back to the clip 1 second just to thank somebody that is C1A7AN90 who was our second comment on the channel. Thank you for commenting on the clip, and it says 100 emoji. Balogun was the best player in that match. Why switch him out for Pepe? Uruguay next. Fingers crossed emoji. Balogun better start. Yeah. And I agree with him. I agree with you, C1A. Like, that was a good take, and I'm I'm not sure. For the people who disagreed, please let us know. Like, why do you think that was something that caused a bad taste in your mouth? Do you think Greg's going to lead us all the way through to Uruguay? Or what do you think? Because it's come out now that Tim Way has been given a suspension for 2 games. So if we make it past Uruguay, he's not going to be in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Tim Weah got suspended for 2 games. You can't just punch a player like that when you're not even on the ball. That just shouldn't be allowed. So it doesn't mean he deserves hate. Doesn't mean he deserves racist comments. I mean, keep that stuff out of the game. That doesn't really belong in the game. It's just at the end of the day, this is just 11 guys versus 11 guys kicking a ball around and representing their country. It's not too serious. You can't attack people based on things they can't control, such as race, ethnicity, things like that. Mm-hmm. You can criticize the performance, absolutely. I'm all about criticizing performance, right? Which is like a behavior, right?
Yeah.
But like individually, like who they are as like people, that's just not cool.
No.
So
it's not at all. And for us to get us going as a soccer power in the world, we have to start pulling different athletes from our kind of major sports, that being basketball, American football, even possibly baseball. I mean, Matt Turner was a baseball player before he was a soccer player, and we're a melting pot as a nation. Whether there's a lot of stuff going on in the nation right now. I'm not going to get into it because we're just here for sports, but we're here as a melting pot. We're built on having so many different cultures from around the world come together and be happy to call ourselves Americans as one. We need to embrace that, and the fact that we're doing this when we're kind of in the premature stage of trying to take this jump off, you're totally extinguishing any momentum that we have going forward. It's really not productive at all.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a big stance in soccer, football for a few years now. The biggest one I can recall is in 2020, since those riots around the world. We've just been saying no to racism. That's why for a while, like all the soccer matches, they were taking a knee before kickoff. So yeah, it's not cool. But besides that, we are left in a very tough spot, facing a Uruguay side who looks absolutely deadly.
Yes,
absolutely deadly and hungry.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, the rumors suggest that Uruguay is going to play their strongest lineup.
Marcelo, you absolute dog. You absolute dog, Marcelo. And, I mean, your bet hit. Uruguay, Bolivia, over 2.5 goals. That was, I mean, they left it late a little bit, but that was a good bet.
The onslaught started to come. And poor Bolivia. I mean, there's just no chance against Uruguayan players having absolutely no mercy.
Yes. Dang it, Marcelo. Why? Why are you going to be so ruthless to us? I guess he just doesn't care.
He doesn't.
Now thinking back at it, yeah, that's a man that's going to just be ruthless.
He sits on a cooler the whole game and just analyzes your team and breaks it down.
Sometimes he squats on his knees. He doesn't even use the cooler.
Oh, really?
He just sits there analyzing you. I'm going to get these dudes.
Yeah. And us missing a key wide player coming in. I mean, I think if we hold them to... We can't hold them to a draw.
No.
We have to... Well, if we hold them to a draw...
We have to rely on Bolivia...
beating Panama.
Or at least drawing. Because right now, as goal difference stands, we have the advantage. But do I want to rely on Bolivia to get us through? No.
I mean, Bolivia hasn't looked the best quality
Bolivia's
team.
Out.
Yeah.
And so what motivation do they have to get a result from this match? Maybe just pride? But it's tough. It's a really tough situation. We don't want to be going into the third match day and having this uphill battle to qualify.
Yeah, Bolivia is out because they lost the first game, 2-1 to us or 2-0?
2-0, so it's a -7 goal difference, 0 points.
So they have to score, they have to beat Panama
9-0.
Yeah, 9-0, and they have to hope that, well, not even, because Yeah, they have to beat Panama around like 9-0.
Yeah.
And they have to hope the USA loses like at least 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can qualify. So they're pretty much out. I mean, unless Panama somehow gets 2 red cards, and then Bolivia just has a day at them. But more than likely, probably not going to happen. Of course, red cards can change the makeup of games. But we'll see, man. All we can do is hope. And maybe Marcelo Bielsa will change his mind.
Yeah.
Sooner the game day. Maybe he'll be like, oh, well, you know what? We just beat this team 5-0. We're pretty much going to finish first. Let's play some of these second team players. Let them get some form in. Let them get some experience. And maybe USA can capitalize on that.
Yeah.